Hustle in the lobby, bright lights, reflections. Screen flickers, tales of crime and affection. Baristas mix caffeine with tales of deception. Lawyers joke and shadows plot their redemption. Case files like popcorn scatter on the floor. Jury's out in line, folks begging for more. Quirky loopholes twist through every door. Paparazzi flash for the courtroom encore. Legal Shenanigans Theater, baby, where justice lasts. Crime and humor dance, baby, a curious path. Grab your ticket, honey, let the gavel smash. In the flood of laughter, see the road splash. Scoundrels with a smile, defense on their lips.
You guys are going to have to tell me how I'm sounding because I am somewhat clogged up, so I'm hearing things, but they're kind of muted.
It sounds okay to me so far.
Well, that's good because I have it like at the highest I can have my earbuds in, but it's... And usually I don't like loud noises, so I know it's got to be screaming, but I can't hear anything.
Yeah,
And
I'll try to let you know.
also, can we just look? I shouldn't have to prove that I can't do, high school level chemistry in order to get a nasal decongestant that actually works.
Yeah.
I'm getting a little tired of, meth heads ruining it for everyone.
Yeah. I don't remember what it was that I had got. It was a medicine that was I thought was really innocuous. It was a cold medicine. I think it actually might have been Mucinex. And
Yeah,
it had expectorant
Mucinex.
in it.
And yeah, Mucinex. And then to get the stuff that actually works for sinuses, I had to wait until the pharmacy opened, and I was like, screw that.
Yeah. It's and I didn't understand. I'm because the stuff that I had, I didn't have to wait for the pharmacy, but I did have to sign a permission slip or whatever it was.
Yeah, and I'm over here, at the self-checkout at Walmart just trying to get out of public, and
Yeah.
they can't get it out. And then the woman's like, oh, well, if you'd have just waved me over, I'd have come and checked your driver's license. I was like, ma'am, it's not that deep, honestly.
It's really annoying that we have to sign these waivers to get just cold medicine now. I don't
Yes.
understand it.
I know. And I'm like, look, y'all, seriously, I can't do math.
Yeah. It's just,
Like,
it's ridiculous.
I can't do math. I don't have access to anhydrous ammonia. And I don't want to melt out my teeth. So, I'm kind of vain. That being said, can I just get the, the pseudoephedrine? Thank you.
Yeah. The strongest thing you got over there, please.
I was like, pay no attention to the Diet Mountain Dew that's in my cart. Look, you had it on sale.
It's not toilet bowl cleaner.
So I know that this is not the same trial that we ended off with last time, but this is in fact the latest trial she was found guilty of with the same, unfortunately, just haggard judge that has had to deal with her entire time in Arizona.
Trey Gowdy.
Yes, Trey Gowdy. But so the man on the stand is her niece's former husband. Now, I don't know where the niece is as far as getting, incarcerated or charged with anything. But Lori and, her brother, her boyfriend brother, decided that allegedly, well, I guess adjudicatedly, that he needed to, be taken out in order for her niece to have, free reign of the children and things like that, and not have to divorce him.
Interesting. So he became an enlightened being, I think is what we should start calling it.
Yeah. So, I mean, he was one of the only spouses that make it out alive.
One of the
But
few.
apparently, now I don't know how all of this happened. Now, to hear him tell it, he and Melanie had a good marriage, like everything was bopping on kind of normal, everything's all right. And then, like, on a Tuesday, she comes at him with, "You're gay." And he's like, "Do what now?" And she's like, "Yeah, you're gay. You're going to have to get out." And he's like, "I don't think I am."
Was she trying to gaslight him into being gay? That's kind of weird.
Yeah, I didn't think you could choose for someone else.
That's an interesting twist. I've never heard of this. I'm genuinely
I
really
say
curious
that
now.
because Lori is going to go into the whole gay thing, and I don't care. I mean, I wouldn't care if he really had been gay, but it's just the weirdest thing that they decided to go with. So he moves out of the house, and kind of like, my wife is wanting to divorce me because I'm gay, but I'm pretty sure I'm not. And, getting a little upset that his, wife decides that she's going to start dating fairly shortly after they separate, he takes the kids and, well, all of a suddenly he's getting out of the gym one day and someone who looks an awful lot like Alex Cox is in the back of Tylee's Jeep shooting at him.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That would almost be a coincidence if you believed in such things.
Yeah. It's almost like people that Lori and Alex didn't like
Yeah.
don't do too well. And thank you, Big Dog 5758. I feel you with the replay crew. We are probably going to be doing a shorter legal Shenanigans Theater because this is a shorter hearing, but also to give me a rest up today and tomorrow to rest to see if I can kick whatever this Dollywood flu is.
Dollywoo?
The Dollywoo.
Yes, the Dollywoo. Did you at least ride the double Ds?
No. Well, I didn't ride any of the rides. I had a lot of fun people watching and just being out and about and seeing, okay, look, there were some guys in the theater shows, very good musicals. They were not fighting another man for the pretty little cowgirls in the shows, okay?
Wait, say that again.
So basically, there were like these, country music kind of like show-taculars, and let's just say all the guy leads that were doing all of the country songs were not singing to impress their female co-stars like they were portraying.
Oh, okay. They were like what Lori was accusing this young gentleman on the stand of?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which, I mean, to be fair, but I'm like, come on, y'all. I mean, Lance, you don't have to fight him, fight him.
It's like, whatever. People can do whatever they want. As long as they're not hurting anybody.
I don't care.
Exactly. It's just like, who cares? Even if in that part of the country they don't particularly like it.
Oh, you know what? I hung out. There were like the most beautiful. This man had to have like 6 feet tall legs, and I'm guessing his husband. And I'm only guessing this because they were both wearing rainbow tank tops. that were fishnet.
Okay, that's a good indicator. Or they
And
came from the
wedding rings
80s.
that matched. I was just
Okay.
like, I love your t-shirts, or your tank tops. And he's like, thanks. And I was like, your legs are just so long. I'm jealous. And he's like, thanks. I get that a lot. And I was like, well, probably not from weirdo autistic people waiting to get curly fries, but you know, a compliment's still a compliment.
You take them where you can get them.
Yeah. I mean, no one's ever told me my legs are really super de duper long, but his
Yeah.
were.
Yeah, definitely not something I've ever been accused of.
Yeah. Although my ability to say things like with no filter in public endearingly must be a safety mechanism.
You noticed your filter changed?
Well, I suddenly realized when I was like, you have really super long legs and that's awesome. And I was like, I don't know where I should go with that because generally people don't say that. And the more you get in your head about it, the more my mouth continues to run. And I was like, not that having short legs is bad. I mean, I've made it work for 40 years of my life. So there you go.
Oh, that's funny.
All right, let's get into Lori and, oh God, Lori.
Yeah.
And it was me that you were talking about that convinced her that you were gay. Is that what you were referring to?
Now, I know this is June and I know that it's not particularly my group of people, but doesn't the individual, you know, doesn't the individual decide if they're gay or not?
I would think so. But
Lori's like, we sat down and discussed, and you've watched Frozen one too many times now.
we just had to let it go.
Yeah. You're like, you know, you liked Barbara Streisand and that Cher song just one too many times. Could you believe in love? And now you do.
Yeah. And maybe you're a fan of Celine Dion.
Yes.
In that context, I never said that Lori is the one who convinced Melanie that I was gay.
Okay.
How can you have an attitude like, well, no, Lori, I never said you were the one that said I was gay.
I can see this is going to be a very weird cross-examination already. It's like it's not starting off on a great foot.
Oh my gosh. She is such a dingleberry.
Yeah. How many convictions is she up to?
So in the second paragraph, it didn't say she's the one that convinced her that I'm gay.
Improper use of gay. It's
I think that's what he was
2025.
insinuating.
Yes. By the transitive property, you know, please excuse my dumbass sister. You do the, you know, exponents first. So that's your, well, would that be a gay exponent?
I don't know.
I don't know. But
It's just such a weird conversation. I mean, I know we're talking about Lori, so everything's gonna be weird, but it's like this is just such a weird like conversation. Like if you were just tuning in and going like, wait, I'm sorry, what did she say?
which is why I had to show you this, because like a friend who sees a train wreck and then has to show their other friends the train wreck. Yeah, because she's got one for Charles now, one for JJ, one for Tylee, one for Tammy. I think she's up to, this will make 5.
Wow, 5 convictions. Maybe she's going for like some type
handful of
of
convictions.
a record or something.
She could almost Thanos snap a conviction. She's got the conviction gauntlet.
Yeah.
Impeachment, refreshing. I'm not sure what she's doing.
Sustain.
Would you like to read it again?
If you would like me to, I can read it again.
Okay.
Okay.
It's line 251.
Who's walking the gallows? Jesus.
Yeah, it's her legal
Aid.
consultant, helper. Clomper.
Thank you. Did that refresh your recollection?
Yes, I read a different line. That is the in 251. I did specifically say that I thought you.
That I had convinced her.
Can you ask that
That I
question?
had convinced Melanie that you were gay?
I said that.
I'm still confused. Was this over the green chili enchiladas?
Maybe this was like the red sauce burritos or something, maybe.
It was the Brandons coming out at green chili enchiladas with rainbow salsa.
Congratulations. You're gay. Surprise.
And Brandon's like, no, I'm pretty sure I still like girls.
God, this woman.
How in the hell does this even go on?
I was gonna say, like, I've heard a lot of absurd things, but this has to be like way up there on the list.
I think this is the one where she gets taken out of the court.
Oh,
So-
really?
Yes, the judge basically, she's out of here. This is the part I need to see this week after dealing with Brennan. I need to know that the forces of evil are dealt with in the criminal justice, world.
It's all on the shoulders of Mr. Gowdy.
Yes.
I specifically thought that you had been involved in convincing her that I'm gay. Yes, correct.
Okay. And so she did not show you herself a video of you dancing at the Pink Pony. Is that
Again, Your
correct?
Honor.
The pink what?
Wait. He's a brony? I don't have a problem with that.
Well, I draw the line at bronies. It's like if you're gay, it's fine. But if you're a brony, like, come on, bro.
Also, how does Lori know what the pink pony is? Because here's the problem, and here's where she's going to try to get him. So the connotation of being a homosexual, especially in the LDS faith, a practicing male homosexual, I don't know how they really feel about lesbians because they don't seem to bitch about that one as much. But, is that you are giving into those sinful, urges, and procreation is the only time you're supposed to have that kind of stuff happen between a woman and a man. So he could have gotten excommunicated. He could have lost his temple recommend, which you have to do X amount of things plus tithe 10% in order to be considered able and holy enough to go into the temple and get some of the blessings and things like that. So for someone who is very into LDS, faith community, that's a pretty big thing that you're messing with.
That's interesting. I mean, I assumed that it was probably not a good thing, but like, I didn't understand that they had to go through all these things to get permissions to the temple. Like, is the temple like I maybe
So
I don't understand.
I am not LDS, but from what I understand, there's like a home church kind of thing, and then the temple is where you go for maybe baptisms and actual sacraments, but it's not like it's not like a church mass. So this is like where you'd go for like certain ceremonies.
Okay. So this
But-
would be like a pilgrimage, if you will.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So, and if you want to get married in the temple and things like that, you have to have one of these recommends from your local pastor and things like that. But Lori is trying to say that he was at a gay bar, and the problem is how would she know he was at a gay bar? So I tell you all that to get to the point that if she's going to say, you know, he's actually secretly a homosexual American, no, you're still, you know, at a gay bar yourself, Lori.
Yeah. And the Pixies had a great song at the gay bar, gay bar, gay. I can't
Now,
I can't be the only one that remembers that song.
I vaguely remember it, but I do think that you will see LDS grapple with this like a lot of the other Christian faiths are really grappling with this right now. So it's by no means like the only sect of Christianity that has issues with things like that. I'm not going to tell you what to think about it. I'm not in charge of any of you. That being said, I love how she did try to use it to get him basically run out of his family.
Yeah, that kind of seems on point for Lori.
Why would
So,
you? Yeah, but why would you pick that and not he's cheating?
Well, I don't know. He kind of looks like a dapper young lad, so you could probably believe cheating more than.
Yeah, but all you have to do is like plant some, you know, was it Tinder receipts on her apps, and then she could say he's totally cheating, and he'd be like, I don't know what Tinder is. It just seems like, you know, making him gay
At the
is
Pink
just one
Pony.
step more.
Yeah, but you have to place him at the Pink Pony. So, like, I'm curious,
point.
did he actually go to the Pink Pony?
You
Or
know, I have not delved deeply enough into the lore of Lori Vallow and the Pink Pony in order to, but now it's like Lori Vallow and the Pink Pony. It's like Harry Potter for the wine mom in us.
Well, I'm genuinely curious if homie went to the Pink Pony now.
I know. If there is, sir, did you do YMCA? Did you spell it correctly? Because sometimes I forget.
For relevance to 404B.
Oh, there is.
It's all sustained.
And what was your understanding of how I convinced Melanie of this accusation?
Kind of speculation.
This poor man, did you see how he's looking at the judge like, I don't know how you came up with the speculation that I was gay. Like, Your Honor, I don't know how to answer that.
Like, you're out of your damn mind. Like, this is what I love about Lori, and I appreciate the fact that the witnesses in both of the things that we have covered have been very kind and polite. However, this would have been the perfect opportunity to be like, yeah, crazy bitch. That's why.
I know. I know. Please let me pinch hit for whenever Lori needs to ask anyone who doesn't feel like dealing with her. I will tell her exactly what you think, and even more so when I'm sick.
Yeah, exactly.
I have apparently no chill.
Can we sidebar?
At the Pink Pony.
Oh my gosh, I just want someone to say, okay, he's on my 6. Okay, no, I'm going to get murked. Damn it, start over.
They need to just start playing like that Genuine song that you loved so much when you were a teenager.
Okay.
Riding that pony.
When I was 12, and I assumed that everyone was a fan of My Little Pony, but Looking back, it does make a lot more sense as a sensual song rather than a My Little Pony song.
I bet that song was played at the Pink Pony quite
It
a lot.
probably was. I can't believe how raunchy that song was, though. And it was like all over my Catholic middle school dances. Like, and here's Mo just, blissfully just dancing away to My Little Pony song. My mom's like, what? Sheila Broflovsky? And I'm like, no, Mom, it's fine. It's a My Little Pony song.
And she's like, no, it's not.
No, it's not.
It's about a pony, but not the one you think.
Sir, you asked her to go to sidebar. You can't escape. I love how the judge is
Yeah.
looking around like,
Can you believe this? It's like,
Okay.
dude, you asked for it. Like,
yeah,
you
the
literally
witness is
asked
over
for
here
it.
like, you see I have a wedding ring on for a lady. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with that.
So, are they gonna? So, I can't remember who answered the question about if there's video about him being at the Pink Pony. Are they gonna play this video with him at the Pink Pony?
They might in the entirety of the trial. I just saw that the judge told her to get the hell out. Now, mind you, this is after Lori. Now, I sound worse than Lori sounded. Lori sounded a bit like Phyllis Diller, smoked a lot of Pall Malls. But she's like, Your Honor, I'm sick. She came in a wheelchair, a legitimate wheelchair. Like, I have legitimately lost the use of my legs from a cold.
Mo, I can tell that you've been listening to the Karen Reed trial for way too long because you said Pall Mal, like getting my
Listen,
khakis. My khakis.
Yeah. Well, at least I'm not saying Laurel enforcement. Laurel enforcement. I don't know how he adds an R. Laurel. I'm like, who the hell? Or Saul. I can do Sarl, because the like Sara a thing. But look, Brennan. Look, I'm pissed off at Canton and I'm pissed off at Daryl Brooks because sometimes I say substain still to this day. And it pisses me off.
Oh, Daryl, where would we be?
Well, we know where he was, at least for 4 hours. And Gen Pop Justice has never looked better on a man.
Yeah,
I'm okay with it.
can't say that he didn't have it coming.
Yep.
Kind of did. A whole honor among thieves thing.
Oh, God. Could you imagine her as a customer service representative?
Oh,
Hello, I'm
Jesus.
Lori. I'm here to help you with your Delta flight.
She would be like the ultimate, like, terrible person to get a hold of. It'd be like calling customer service, but like you're getting a Karen.
Oh, my God.
Like, oh,
Yeah.
nightmare fuel.
Although, I mean, she's going to be in prison for the rest of her life. There are some tech supports that I would be okay with dealing with her if there isn't that regrettable kind of language barrier. Like, I'm willing to deal with Lori if I also can just understand what someone else is saying and I'm trying to do a computer.
I can understand that.
Felon call centers.
Yeah.
You get to business one day, though, and she's just like, "Arr, arr, 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 arr."
WrestleMania.
Oh, we've got a good. So she's
God,
trying to
should we-
bring in stuff about past acts, because she's trying to bring in the fact that he is in fact friend of Dorothy. Again, nothing wrong with that. And the judge is like,
Dorothy. What?
it's a colloquialism.
Oh, I did not know that.
Okay. But, and basically the judge is like, if you want to bring his prior bad acts in, you do realize that you've now been adjudicated of 4, murder convictions. Like, people will be bringing in, that you red-rummed people. And she's like, I don't think you understand. I can ask questions.
Oh dear.
All right, members of the jury, we're going to take a 15-minute recess, morning recess. We will resume in about 15 minutes. Please remember the admonition.
All rise to the jury.
What is the baby ponytail thing? You are on the bad side of 50, ma'am. Baby ponytails are for 3-year-olds.
And Lori.
All right, please be seated. The jury is no longer present. We've concluded that sidebar. A record's been made. I would just caution the defendant, again, she needs to be very careful, and she's getting into areas that could open a huge door that I don't think she wants open. I'm going to make another record at...
Yes, like Lori, you are now on record as being convicted of not only, murder of 3 people. No.
4, isn't it? Or no.
So attempted murder on 1, and then you've got Charles,
conspiracy.
Tammy, JJ, and Tylee. So you've got 2 adults and 2 children, and now an attempted one that they're talking about here.
Were
Bad
those-
acts.
Were those ones about or Charles, wasn't that? I thought that was just conspiracy, or was that actually
Conspiracy to commit murder, but basically also first degree. So it kind of
okay.
goes in there, because if you conspire and someone else actually does it, then I think you are still kind of charged with it.
You get a bonus. Got it.
Yeah. Darn if her brother boyfriend leaves her in a lurch again.
Yeah.
1024 to 1025, we held a sidebar that I don't think made it onto the court record. That sidebar, again, discussed similar issues of if the defendant brings in evidence or testimony that she was a good person and no ill intent and those sorts of things, and specific acts of
Makes
of
great
her being a
green
good person,
enchiladas.
it could open the door to other things
Yes.
that she may not want the door open to. The state, the defendant, and advisory council were at the bench when we had that short 1-minute sidebar, but I don't know if anyone wants to supplement the record on that. Ms. Cave?
Just, Your Honor, that again, the state did raise any issue of character evidence under 404A and 405, that if the defendant opens the door and tries to advise that she is a good person, a peaceful person, a kind person, a loving person, any of those other types of things, that we believe that would allow us under 405 to then bring in specific acts such as the murder of her children, her husband, and her current husband's wife.
All right.
Which would also be 404B.
Lori, you're found guilty. It's not like she's like, okay, but it's also hearsay. No, not if you're adjudicated. It's on the record, for the record, run the record back.
It's well, she's clearly a lawyer, so I mean, she obviously knows what she's talking about.
Yeah. Because, of course, she is.
Yeah.
But I love that she's like, duh, no, it's all good.
And to be the lady, the poor woman who was assigned Lori, I don't know what you did and who you made mad, but like
Oh, I know.
you should rethink your life decisions, whatever it was, to get stuck with.
She was in contempt for a different thing in his court, and he's like, okay, you didn't want continuing education, you got Lori. And she's like, wait, Your Honor, I'll take jail.
Yeah. It's like, I'm sure she did nothing wrong or anything like that, but it's just like, that poor woman. I feel so bad for her.
I know. Look at her. She's like, God. She is Danny Glover, Predator to done, tired, and sweaty, and over this job.
Yeah.
That they withdrew.
No, it'd be
Yeah,
405.
they withdrew it, but if you bring up 404 that you,
Then all 404B is in, or do we get a hearing on what 404B can come in? If I open the door, do I get a hearing? We stop trial and I get a hearing on,
stop. We'll have a very short hearing, okay? If you're going to introduce how you have great character and good character, we're going to have a short hearing on what evidence that they can bring in to rebut that character, which could
Okay.
include being convicted of 4 murders.
and
How is this not registering with her? She's like, okay, but like for serial, am I going to get a hearing?
Yeah.
And he's like, did you not get that again? Your character might be impeached by the fact that you've shuffled 4 people off of this mortal coil.
She's like, but did you know that I'm an enlightened being?
But Your Honor, I did my own highlights today, and when you look this beautiful, you don't have to be nice.
You just have good character. I mean, come
Yeah.
on. Like,
It's
do you
like
see
good
these pigtails?
posture and good character? They're the same, right?
This lady's a trip. She really is.
Her inability to read a room is just spectacular.
Yeah.
I think I don't pick up on social cues. Lori, I feel like a daggone, observational Steve from Blue's Clues around Lori.
Yeah.
I feel like a Sherlock Holmes.
She's not picking up on much. That's
Nope.
for sure. Because, like, and the thing is they're trying to help her. I mean,
Yes.
they know that she's probably going to get convicted anyway. But it's
Yeah.
like they're trying to help her and be like, look, you're already going to jail for all these other things. It's like, could we, you don't want to have one more thing.
Lori, we get that you're cosplaying a lawyer and your baby ponytail looks, Dr. Quinn law woman, but we're just trying to help you.
Yeah, well, some people
Well.
just don't recognize that. And
No.
Lori's clearly one of them people.
Yeah.
And when I say them people, I mean crazy white bitches. So,
Pretty much. Hey, we call them as we see them.
would you
Talk
like,
to your advisory council during the break, and
you don't need to yell at me either.
yelling at you, okay?
Yeah, you,
Lori has forgotten that she's not in a pottery barn.
oh boy. I want to see Trey Gowdy get mad though.
He does. A little bit. Like, he doesn't yell like I would have, because you'd have seen that pause where I put my shoulders back, where I'm testing, the fabric of reality for those, past 5 seconds to make sure this heifer is going to try me. And then I'm like, yep, it seems we have concluded from the tech stream data that this bitch has tried. All
Yeah.
right, well, everything's ready to go then.
Yeah. This is like you can hear the tone that this is like when you're a child and you hear your mother,
Yeah.
your mother raises her voice at you just slightly, and you're like, feeling the fear
Yeah.
of God.
Yeah,
That's
it's one of
kind of what
those,
the judge
like,
sounds like
your
to me.
your mother takes that pause and that slow turn around, and you're like, on second thought, I'd like to live.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I remember when she said that I brought you into this world and I will take you out of it. And you know what? I believe her.
I'm like, I'm pretty sure I'm seeing the face Steve Irwin saw right before that stingray got him.
Yeah. It's, yeah. That's not a voice you want to trifle with.
No. And moms are usually pretty good. They'll give you like that little, like that slow roll, angry kind of turn pivot to give you that chance to realize, oh, I have just written a check with my mouth that my body cannot cover,
Nor my soul.
nor my soul. So I'd like to withdraw my last statement, and we're going home now, Mom. I'm going to ground myself. Don't worry. I feel bad about it.
Yes. You can have my Nintendo.
Yes. I feel like I should be grounded for a while. I'm going to go work on my attitude. See you later.
You are, and you do not need to talk to me that way. I'm very courteous. I'm very courteous to you.
Girl, no, you have been nothing near courteous to me during the course of these proceedings. Talk with your advisory council about the rest of your cross. We're going to resume in 15 minutes.
The hell, people? The one time you get a chance to righteously tackle the hell out of Lori Vallow like Taylor Schabusiness, and they're just letting her see herself out.
The temptation is strong.
Oh, I'd have been like, Your Honor, put me in, Your Honor. I've been practicing, I've been training.
Maybe they're afraid of her. Maybe they think she's a witch.
Fair point. I mean, if she does look deeply into your eyes, you have to stare back at her crazy eyes.
Yeah. Or maybe they're afraid of like catching the thumb or something.
Ew. Maybe she promises that she'll send you all of her Chad's, writing. And you're like, no, thank you.
Yeah.
She's like,
just-
no, he's an excellent author. Again, no. I'm good.
Yeah. I'm gonna press X to doubt on that.
Yeah.
I know it's attorney-client privilege, but I really wanted to know what was said.
Parties are present, the jury's not present.
I know. I kind of want to know what happened.
Ms. Daybell, if you
Can you imagine her consultant attorney is just like, look, again, Lori, no, I get you want to bring in that he may or may not have been semi-gay in your estimation. And again, Lori, I've tried to tell you this. Someone else's sexuality isn't for you to determine. No, I don't care if you think you're Jesus. Okay, no, we're getting off the point. Okay, here's the thing, Lori. Whether you think you did or you didn't, the criminal justice system has adjudicated you guilty of 4 murders. So when you say you're a good person, they're
You're
going to
not.
have this big, like at least 4 pieces of ammunition.
Yeah, at least.
And she's going to be like, okay, but did they ever try my green chili enchiladas? Also, you don't have to yell at me because, like, I have been nothing but super courteous and curious with you as well. Okay? So, like, match energies, bruh.
She's a special one, that's for sure.
She is, yeah.
continue to ask lines of questions where I've sustained an objection, into areas where I've sustained an objection. If you continue to speak over me or the prosecutor when it's not your turn to speak, I will give you a chance to speak and make any record that's made. If you continue to do all these things, I may be forced to revoke your pro per.
Judge, get some bass in that voice. I want you to, like, don't say, like, okay, Lori, as HR, I have been mandated to give you your PIP, your performance improvement plan. And let's just start with a compliment sandwich. Okay, so your baby ponytail is uniquely you. You're kind of a bitch. And you try really hard with that baby ponytail.
Yeah, like he needs to get down with the "and I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger," like from
we
Pulp
need
Fiction.
him to watch Borowski for like a couple days. Like,
Yeah, he needs to bust out the Samuel L. Jackson lines.
yes. Because he's being too kind. He's being Judge Mommy from Daryl Brooks. And you need like a, give me one reason to take you out of here and bring you back in a Hannibal Lecter dolly. It would make my damn day, Lori. Please give me one excuse. You will come out here with like lobster claws and I'm going to dress you up like, you know, those cement goose I see around. Okay?
Yeah, like the business judge,
Yeah.
because they put her in all kinds of different crazy little contraptions.
To be fair, why wasn't she? I mean, it's not like she's been the pillar of, you know, sanity.
You're not wrong. She should have just started out that way. I mean, considering
Yeah.
what she did.
I mean, honestly, I'm looking at the charging documents. I'm a lawyer. She's coming out in the Hannibal Lecter dolly.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, Judge, I'm a public defender. I know I made you really mad last week, but can you please, for the love of Jesus, please.
I want to get off the case. Well, I want to work with at-risk youth.
Yeah. Well, like, no, just bring her. Could you please just bring her out in a straitjacket? He's like, no. He's like, do you remember what you did last week?
That was last week, though.
And that guy wasn't crazy like she is.
Yeah.
Status.
I understand, Your Honor. I apologize.
Are we ready to continue with the cross-examination?
I love
Yes,
how
and
we
I'm
just
just going to
ignored
ask a
that.
few questions of clarification.
Go ahead.
I mean, when we get up there, that's fine. I'm just going to clarify a few things and then I'll move on
You mean with me or with the witness?
with the witness.
Okay, go ahead and get ready at the podium. Depending on when we finish with this witness, we'll determine when we break for lunch, I guess. It depends on who you have next. We could go to like 12:15 and then start again at 1:15. We can be flexible, but so I guess let's see where we are when we finish with this witness. All right, let's bring the jury in.
That's it for today. I was going to make this a bit longer, but this flu is kicking my butt. So
That's okay.
I am going to take some more Mucinex, probably go to sleep and, go to sleep.
Yeah.
I am going to send you guys over to Flux is having I think 250 years of the military feed today. I think.
Oh, the thingy happening.
Yes, the army bash. I was going to do that too, but my voice is, look, y'all, I'm going back to bed. That's what I'm doing. I mainly stayed up to do legal shenanigans because I don't have to turn my camera on.
It's all right. You need to get your rest and get to feeling better.
Yeah, I'm feeling a little better, but you know how it you like you think, "Oh, I'm feeling just a little better," and then you try to do anything above like vigorously watching Everyone Loves Raymond. And by that I mean laughing without trying to kill yourself coughing. And you're like, "Oh, that's some cardio right there."
Yeah. Yeah.
You're like, "I can do some laundry." And you're like, "Oh, nope. No, I can't."
Yeah. Respiratory stuff is never fun when you're all congested and stuff. It's just, it's always a nightmare to deal with. But
Yes. So have a good day. Wash your hands. And I'm going to go ahead and put this out there, but I would not consider it assault if you sprayed people with Lysol that sound like me. So protect yourself. But other people might, so, follow your local laws. Bye, you guys.
yeah.